Why is all this happening to me?
Allison, it's okay.
Things were fine until last week. I got mad at my little brother and suddenly the ground started to shake. I knew it was my fault, but I didn't want to admit it.
Your powers are becoming active, which...
Things have only gotten worse. That lava in the street? I made it happen. I'm becoming a mutant.
There's nothing wrong with...
And that woman? She was gonna make me join something called the Brotherhood. She could come after me again. Anytime!
Allison, you couldn't be in safer hands. We're the X-Men. Professor Xavier, I'd like you to meet Allison Crestmere.
Hello, Allison. Welcome to the Institute. How are you?
A little confused, but I'm okay.
That's understandable. Perhaps Jean could take you on a tour of the mansion, or would you prefer that I show you the true purpose of the Institute in the sub-basement?
I'd like Jean to show me around.
It would be my pleasure. As you move from room to room, I'll give you a little information on the X-Men.
Once you're done with Jean's tour, come back here and I'll show you the sub-basement.
Lead the way, Allison. Welcome to the Xavier Institute, Allison.
This place is huge! What is it?
This is the Xavier Institute, a school where mutants learn to control their abilities, as well as discovering more about themselves and their place in the world.
A school for mutants? I didn't know there was such a thing.
The fact that the students are mutants is kept secret for everyone's protection. In addition to being a school, the mansion is also home to the X-Men.
Cool. I've heard of the X-Men. What room is this?
The library is one of the most popular rooms in the house. There's a wide variety of literature here, from Shakespeare to comic books. It's an interesting mishmash of styles, kind of like the X-Men.
Who are you?
My name is Jean Grey, and I've been an X-Man most of my life.
Today, in New York City, were you talking to people with your thoughts?
Yes. My mutant abilities deal with telepathy and telekinesis.
You're a mutant?
Yes, I am. You'd be hard put to find someone around here who isn't.
I didn't think there were many people like me.
Our numbers are growing, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, Allison, even though there are a few people who would like you to be.
You're telepathic?
I have the ability to read minds and communicate mentally.
And telekinesis means you can list stuff with your thoughts, right?
Exactly. I've grown quite powerful at it over the years, but I doubt I'll ever master it.
Thanks for the info.
Classes are held here, Monday through Friday. The students receive a full curriculum in math, history, physics, and a wide variety of other topics. This is the sitting room. It's a great place to kick back and relax. Needless to say, this room doesn't get a lot of use by the X-Men. This is the day room. It's beautiful, isn't it? There are times I find it hard to believe there's a high-tech underground level beneath this grand old mansion.
An underground level?
Oh yes, but I'll leave that part of the tour to Professor Xavier. Believe it or not, we do take the time to sit down every once in a while and have a meal together, just like any other family.
I can't picture any of the X-Men actually cooking a meal.
You haven't lived till you've tasted Pete's barbecue or Betsy's Cornish hen. Did you have a question, Allison?
This house is too cool. Who owns it?
The Xavier Mansion is owned by Professor Charles Xavier. Once it was his family's estate, but he had bigger plans.
Looks as if it hasn't changed since it was first built.
Oh, it's had quite a bit of remodeling over the years, but we're very fussy about keeping things as close to the original design as possible.
This place is huge. What kind of things are here?
The mansion has dormitories for the students, a swimming pool, a library, and a huge lawn should you feel the need to stretch your legs.
Who's Professor Xavier?
Professor Xavier, or Professor X as some call him, is the founder of the X-Men, but perhaps more importantly, he's a teacher.
What subject does he teach?
Humanities. He's trying to help mutants and non-mutants learn that they can live together peacefully.
So, Professor Xavier's a mutant too?
Oh yes. He's the most powerful telepath alive.
Thanks. I'll ask again if I need more info.
The second floor of the mansion has bedrooms for many of the X-Men. Feel free to wander around and look in the rooms. This is Rogue's room. You'll like her. She's a bit of a wild child.
She tends to get into trouble?
Well, Rogue did a few questionable things before joining the X-Men, but she's proven herself to be an invaluable member of our team.
If you don't mind me asking, what can she do?
It's a bit complicated, but her power deals with direct skin contact, which is why she always wears gloves. Aurora Monroe lives here. Her mutant abilities allow her to control the weather, which comes in handy with her favorite pastime, gardening.
Aurora. What a pretty name.
Her code name is Storm. She takes over as leader of the X-Men if Scott Summers isn't around. Bobby Drake stays here. His code name is Iceman.
Let me guess. He makes ice.
He can freeze almost any object instantly. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you. He's a real charmer. This room belongs to the ultimate man of mystery, Wolverine. Although he's a bit rough around the edges, Wolvie's the best friend you could ever want, and the worst enemy you could possibly imagine. This is the home of Peter Rasputin. He's pure Russian, from the top of his crew cut to the bottom of his size 18 feet. You'd never believe a body of steel could house such a gentle heart. This room belongs to Scott Summer.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He's kinda cute.
And he's kinda spoken for.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
I'm just teasing, Allison. Scott and I have been together forever. I'm lucky to have him. This is my bedroom. I've lived here off and on since I was a teenager. The X-Mansion is pretty much the only real home I've ever known. This is your room, Allison.
I'm not sure if I want to learn about them.
But Allison, if you don't learn to control your abilities now, they could wind up causing far more damage later on.
I suppose you're right. Still, I don't know.
This is Hank McCoy's room. We call him Beast, but not as an insult. You'll find out why when you meet him. To look at him, you'd never guess he was such a bookworm. Did you have a question?
I'm done with the tour.
If you're done with the tour, go back to Professor Xavier's office. He'll want to take you on a tour of the sub-basement.
Thanks.
Hello, Allison. Are you ready to see the true purpose of the Institute?
Why was I brought here?
You were brought here for your own protection. The people who attacked you in New York City were members of the Brotherhood of Mutants. They can be extremely dangerous.
So they could come after me again?
Perhaps. Which is why it would be best for you to stay at the mansion, at least until we determine exactly why the Brotherhood attempted to kidnap you.
Are you the leader of the X-Men?
I-
But you brought them together, right?
Yes. I started with Cyclops and several others. As time passed, I found more mutants who were capable of handling the responsibilities of being an X-Man.
Who's the Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood is an unruly collection of mutants who consider themselves above humanity. They operate outside the law and use their abilities to further their misguided desires.
But what do they want?
They've labeled themselves Homo Superior and believe they will inherit the Earth, but they are far from meek.
Could you take me on the sub-basement tour?
Yes, indeed. You see, a majority of this facility is underground so as not to attract the attention of those who mean ill will toward This is the war room. From here,
What's that holographic globe?
that is the mission control computer. With it, you can examine and activate any missions that are currently available to the X-Men.
I'll have to take a look at that later.
Very good. Now, would you like a tour of the sub-basement, or would you prefer to explore on your own?
I'd like a sub-basement tour.
Feel free to inspect the rooms. I'll follow along and explain as we go.
Hello, my friends.
Oh, I'm not an X-Man. I'm just looking around the war room. Professor Xavier said it was okay. I saw this flashing button marked Muir Island, so I pushed it. Are you having trouble there?
Yes, the Brotherhood stormed through here.
Oh my gosh! Were you hurt?
Me? I'm fine.
Who are you?
My name's Forge.
I bet you've got some kind of mutant power, don't you?
I have the ability to build any type of machine.
What was the Brotherhood doing on Muir Island?
They broke into my workshop and tore the place apart in search of a particular piece of equipment.
What did they want?
They took some experimental equipment that masks mutant DNA from scanning devices.
Why would they want that?
I'm not sure. But while wearing the masking device, even Cerebro would not be able to detect them.
Talk to you later, Forge.
Anytime.
This is incredible!
Thank you. We're rather proud of it.
What in the world?
This is Cerebro, a machine designed to locate mutants anywhere on the planet.
Is this how you found me?
Precisely. We were able to pinpoint you when your mutant abilities began to manifest themselves several days ago.
This machine must be really powerful.
It is indeed. While wearing that headset, a telepath can feel the heartbeat of almost every sentient being on Earth. It could, potentially, overwhelm an untrained mind, though.
Whoa.
Yes. And in addition, Cerebro keeps detailed files on all known mutants. From within here, I control battle situations that take place in the training room you can see through those windows. The training room has earned the dubious title of the Danger Room.
But the danger room looks completely empty.
With the aid of advanced holography, any adversary or environment can be created out of nothingness. The Danger Room can simulate battle situations from the surface of the moon to 1,000 feet below sea level.
Holographs? So nothing in there is real?
Make no mistake, while the enemies in the Danger Room may not be real, the danger certainly is, as the bruises of the X-Men can attest.
What's the console over there?
That is the Danger Room computer.
What's it do?
It is the artificial intelligence created by Beast to run the Danger Room. With it, a student can access any of the training programs available. You may use it later should you wish.
Sounds kind of scary, but fun.
I'm glad you feel that way, Allison, because I would now like to officially extend you an invitation to join us here at the Institute. Your parent...
I don't know. This is all happening so fast.
There's no rush. This is a difficult decision. So for the time being, consider yourself our guest. Feel free to enjoy anything the mansion has to offer. These are the transport tubes, a quick way of getting to the second floor of the mansion.
But I didn't see any entrance to the tubes on the second floor.
They're hidden, since the tubes are only used in emergencies. This is the brig, a highly reinforced area designed to contain practically any mutant.
You keep prisoners?
No, not at all, Allison. But there are those rare occasions when we need to detain an individual before handing them over to the proper authorities. This is our medical facility. We've gone to a great deal of trouble to design equipment capable of handling the special needs of mutants. I believe that if necessary, these computers could even perform surgery without supervision. This is the laboratory of Hank McCoy, a gifted scientist and engineer. He was one of my first students at the Institute.
Isn't he the one they call Beast?
Yes, but that code name is a gross misrepresentation of the man. His mind is every bit as strong and agile as his body. It's his technical expertise that keeps the equipment down here running so smoothly. The hangar bay houses the X-Men's main source of transportation. We call it the X-Jet, a state-of-the-art and constantly upgraded aircraft.
Wow, that's cool.
Indeed. We keep the X-Jet prepped and ready to take off at a moment's notice. Yes, Allison. What can I do for you?
I'm done with the sub-basement tour.